this is the other copy of this. So we are. It's rather unfortunate that I'm having just about 20 of you in class out of almost 40 something people. But well, for all our call, a few are chosen. You guys happen to be the chosen ones, and we're happy that you are still here. Our experience doing this, remember this is batch 18, which means we've taught this 18 times, right? We've done this 18 times, taking people for 6 to 8 months. So you can quickly calculate how long we've been doing this teaching, right? So, and it always has to come to an end, which is officially, I mean, this ended 2 months ago. But we actually went into an extra 2 months of mentorship with you guys to make sure that you are here today. Uh, who among you uh, does not, I mean, let me put it this way. From the time we ended capstone presentation and today, raise your hand if you feel that there's a big difference in your confidence level, in the way you see interviews, in the way your perception of the job market is. Just raise your hand if you feel like there's a difference from the time that we ended the interviews, right? The interview training, the capstone project presentation, and today after 2 months of mentorship, that you now see things differently, right? I see quite a lot of hands up. Thank you so much. You can lower your hand. But what the goal behind this is to help you understand the perception is out there, right? If we do this training and then we just end up with capstone project and we let you go out there, it's going to be very difficult for you to get jobs. Very, very difficult because your perception is completely different. Even the way you approach questions is straight out of classroom kind of an approach. But this mentorship is there to guide you, understand how to approach real life interview questions, and helps you get to a point where you understand what it takes to get a job. I don't think right now any of you that's sitting here does not know what it takes to get a job. It is not an easy thing. It is not. And we've never said it was easy from day one till today. We've always told you it is a difficult battle, but a one that is achievable by all of you that are here. And that's why we mentor you. All right. So what's next? Well, after this class today, we will be enrolling you. We'll send a link where you're going to join the larger community of people that have taken this training, those that are working, those that are still in the job market. You will have the opportunity to join that. All right, we will not add today. We will let you join if you want to belong. Okay, and then we will go ahead and dissolve your class forums, and it will mark the end of your training. But your battle to get a job begins now. Right? So remember, everything that we've done, sometimes in our past experience, some people do get job during the training and the mentorship. Like some of you had it. Like in this class, we've had about 3 people that have gotten jobs by now, right? That started this training just with you from day one. But majority of you have not, right? Which means that as we finally let you out today, we are leaving you like we're giving you the certificate. You go out there and face the world, and you know you have all the skills. We've given you everything that you need to face the world. Okay, and you will be you can request for a certificate of completion. We will send a form for you to request for a certificate of completion, where our student services will issue you a certificate of the program that you've taken. We strongly encourage you to stay committed within your group. I know some of you are doing it, right? So that you can keep up doing what we've done during this mentorship class. I mean, you've seen how we do it. You can do it among yourself. It's just that we will not have a dedicated resource person to come in here and sit with you guys and teach you guys. We are still offering community programs like I'm planning to start up Lunch and Learn, right? During my break time, we have an hour of presentation and room for you to join Whether you're at work, you're at home, you can click and join, and it will still help you towards securing your job. Now, uh, we do encourage you to actively do your applications. But if you need us to do your application for you, we've already advertised services that are here where we have dedicated team working uh, 5 days a week on your profiles and help you. If that is something that is interesting, some of you that are here have taken that services, and I see the progress that you're doing going through. If you like it, reach out and then we will help you with that. But apart from that, at this point, you have everything that you need to face the world out there, and then you can go out there and do it. And we are still here to answer questions for you, right? At individual level, if you have an interview coming up and you need support, and we have the resources, we can always help you. But that was really on a voluntary basis, not longer an official training like this where people are there dedicated just for you. So that is what is next after this class today. Does that answer the question? Clarify? I don't know whether the hands up are because I asked you to raise your hand. You can lower it, but if you have a question, you can ask your question. So today's class is question and answer. And the question does not just mean about your concerns. The questions could really be technical questions that you face in interviews, and you want us to help you answer. We will do it within the next 2 hours. We will help you with all that. All right. And I really encourage you to join my Launch and Learn sessions whenever we send the announcement, right? Just click and join. Even I won't ask you to be on video. You can be in your kitchen and listen in and so on. It's going to be there. It's a tradition that I'm starting, and I want to really keep it up. We used to have webinars. We're going to be kicking up our webinars again. Do whatever it takes from today to stay connected. I can tell you from our experience, those who finish this class and then they isolate themselves and they don't surround themselves with people who speak the same language, they never get jobs. Never. It is difficult to break through this thing by yourself. It is. I can tell you that. I'm not exaggerating, right? You need to surround yourself either with your classmates, with the community, with anybody. If you know somebody that is a DBA right now, go and shadow that person once a week. Ask the person, hey, can I have once a day, right? Or maybe for 30 minutes or an hour and sit by you and see how you do your job. If that person is working from home, can I do that? All right. And don't be angry if the person say no. Some people are really busy. They don't have time to teach you. Right? It is if you have someone who is willing to mentor you after that, go ahead and reach out to the person. But if you can, make sure that you stay within the community. You're watching YouTube videos, you're watching blogs, and when you're reading a blog, don't just read a blog like you're reading a newspaper. Right? Try to practice what is being taught in that blog. I learned a lot from blogs. Right? Reading other people's blog, what they're saying, it's always helping. Remember, this field where you are right now, whether you get a job or not, you are going to continuously learn. You cannot stop. You cannot stop. Like yesterday, I spent an entire day trying to figure out how to use MCP servers, right? It's a new server that Microsoft has released with SQL Server 2025 that has AI integration, and you can actually talk to the server to write scripts for you, right? Such a beautiful thing where you can literally just say, well, it's integrated within SQL Server. I need a script that gives me all the records on this table, order this by the first name column, and make sure you group these by this. And it writes a script for you. You can even say execute. It runs the script for you if you've granted the MCP server the right permission. Database administration is just going to be so easy going forward because of the integration of AI. But you have to keep learning. If you don't learn, you are going to be phased out. I am telling you, you will be phased out. If you finish this training and you literally just want to stay what the DBAs do, like take backups, run script, we already have server that can run the scripts. Why? So even someone who doesn't know how to run the script has access to the MCP server, can run the script. right? So you have to figure out how to make yourself relevant. And the only way to do so is keep learning and surround yourself with the right people. To be very honest, find a mentor, surround yourself with the right people. In this class, you know people who are serious. You know them. I join them and continuously learn. I heard that there's some group in KiawiTech called KiawiTech what best students or something like that. And where they join every time there's someone having an interview, they send a Zoom link in that group, and then people log in and listen. Find yourself in that group. I don't know where the who creates the group. I know that that group exists somewhere within the community. Make sure that you belong. Don't isolate yourself. That is my 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 advice for all of you right now. Don't isolate yourself, please. All right. I see a few hands up, please. Karin, go ahead. What's your question? Karin? All right, Zoom user. Go ahead. What's your question? You're in the car. If you don't know, your name is Zoom user. That's the name I
I
see.
don't know. Uh, Good day, doctor. My name is Pius. I don't know how I came up as Zoom user because oh yes, because I changed. I used a new phone.
Okay,
Yes, yes. I just want to ask a question relating to you mentioned that our classrooms will be dissolved
correct.
after this. Yes. So I was wondering, some of us did not keep a very good backup of our scripts and things, and there's a lot of material that we have in the forum. And when I go back to pick some stuff from there, I always relate it with the date. And so I'm wondering if it's not possible to keep it open while school is finished. Just a question. I can copy, but I can transfer the data elsewhere. But the
There-
point is, they will not be in the sequence like with dates and stuff, where I
yes.
can easily relate with my um, uh, Zoom sessions,
So the
class
thing is that
sessions.
when we dissolve a class forum and then
Yes,
remove you, you have two options. Either to delete the
yes,
group by yourself, right, on your side, right? If I remove you from a
yes,
group, you can delete that group
yes.
or you can archive the group. It still doesn't mean that you can no longer send messages in the group, or if the message is sent there, you no longer receive it because the group is dissolved. It doesn't mean that the group has been deleted on your side on WhatsApp.
Oh,
So
okay,
you
The
still have
okay.
to,
Now
messages,
I understand.
yes. The
yeah,
messages that you received before you were removed, they will still be there.
correct.
Meaning
Everything
you
will be
still
there.
Okay,
have access to all those messages, but you are no longer in a group and you can send
okay.
messages into that group.
Thank you very much. That is sorted. At least I
All
know
right.
I still have access to all the
Yes.
messages and the.
No, you do.
And what about our Google Drive, please?
No, we do not remove your access from the Google Drive. We keep the drive, we keep the videos for you to always go back and
Okay,
access it. So you still have
okay,
access to the videos.
okay. Thank you.
But we have a
Thank you.
retention policy that
Yes.
that will come in maybe in some years, right?
After 2 years,
So
after they know,
yeah,
right? After 2 years,
after,
right?
Okay,
exactly.
After 2 years, the videos are no longer available. But
okay,
which also means after 2 years, you have a maximum of 2 years to retake this training. If you come back after 2 years and say, oh, I want to take back the class, you have to pay like a fresh new person. Right? Because we assume that in 2 years, a lot has changed. You've forgotten almost everything. Because some people go through this training and like, oh, I want to retake it. You have one chance to retake this training free of charge. Right? One joker to take it back. After the joker, if you want to take it again the third time, you pay half of the fees. And after 2 years, everything drops. It's like a new student. But we don't really expect you to come after 2 years. 2 years, you should have been working like a DBA, making money and
Absolutely.
learning something
Absolutely.
different, not coming back to learn the same sequel. Right? All
yes.
right. Karen, you had a question. Oh, that was a mistake. Okay,
That
Emmanuel.
was mhm.
Yeah, one question. Just wanted to ask, but partly you just answered now. But in case, let's say, in 2 months' time, if there are some model, especially model 6, that things got complicated. If I want to join, let's say, the batch 18, which is starting now, will that be possible? Because I saw some people who did the previous batches who joined, when we was doing the batch. I think we was doing the model 6. I don't know if it's possible, and if so, how can it be done?
Yes,
Yes, why
yes.
not?
Yeah, if you want to retake the training, you can reapply as a returning trainee. All right, as a returning trainee, you'll be able to retake the training free of charge. Uh, and you just need to contact the student services and make sure that you've completed your fees. She will send you a link to apply, and then we'll add you back in class. That is you taking your joker, all right? Which means that once you're going through
Okay.
that, you can't come back again and take it for free, right?
All right.
Yes. All right.
I got you. Thank you.
Yeah. Questions, guys. Not just questions linked with administration of things within KiawiTech. Interview questions. You can ask interview questions. If you've taken an interview, you had a question that was bothering you, you were not able to answer it, what's the better approach to go about it? We can take time to answer it for you. Yes, Simon. Simon?
I think he's not on camera though.
Yeah, but his hand is up. And
Oh,
Simon, we
we
can't hear
can't
you.
hear
Are you in
you.
the airport? All right. Any question? So the next launch and learn next week that we are planning to provide is actually from one of your trainees as well that finished this training. We'll be teaching you guys on distributed availability group. I think we've asked this question multiple times here in class, right? What do you understand by distributed availability group? It is not in our syllable in KiawiTech, but it comes so often in interviews. So we will be learning distributed availability groups. We'll send the link. If you have a chance to attend, you can attend, but we will not give you a chance to share your screen, right? Going forward, you will not have a chance to share your screen, but you can listen. We will always upload the videos on our YouTube channel. If you want to practice what was taught during that, you can go back and watch the YouTube link. But at least you have a chance to join and ask questions or see how to set up. So it's explaining what distributed availability groups is, how to really configure it, and the use case scenarios. That's what we'll be doing. It's most likely going to be this coming Friday. All right, this coming Friday, we'll have lunch and learn, and we will do distributed availability group and more topics. If there are topics that you will love, that we handle, topics that we did not handle in KiawiTech, lunch and learn our session that we're going to do that. Also, we promise you to handle bonus topics like introduction to SSIS, RS, and overview of Microsoft Azure and stuff like that. Those topics are going to come now, right? So that's something I forgot to mention during What's Next. Those are the topics that we will be handling on Saturdays. I will be handling those topics with you guys, mostly on Saturdays, same time, 12 to 3 p.m. I will be teaching most of those topics. And if we have to change the time, I will also let you guys know ahead of time. So we'll send that out. Make sure you join the links and learn those new topics. Those are bonus topics that we'll offer. Yes, Simon.
Yeah, I can speak now. Sorry, I'm at work, so that's why
Okay.
I could not come on camera, and it
Okay.
looks like my headphone was actually disturbing me. So I've removed it. I've actually disconnected from the headphone. I wanted to ask something, clarify something, because when it comes to patching of the server, right?
Yes.
I've had two different ways. I'm kind of a little bit confused because the last time when they asked me about patching, I talked about suspending data movement. They said it's not valid, or I'm not supposed to do that. I don't know if it's necessary or it's not necessary at all. And if at all it's necessary, in which case must you do that or must you not do that?
Suspending data movement in always on high availability,
Yes,
right?
if you want to patch the server.
Yes, let me first say it's not necessary, but I have had a scenario where I had to suspend data movement. And when was this? Because the application that my databases were hosting are highly sensitive, extremely sensitive, and it modifies the data structure at the back end. So if you don't suspend the data movement in those type of application, you might patch and those applications might not be able to connect, right? You have to now put the applications on standby to be able to test their connectivity and also to adjust some few things in their connection strings. But otherwise, there is no reason to actually suspend data movement before you patch. You start patching from your secondary replica. That is
Yeah.
it. No,
Okay.
so but yes, so if you are asked in what scenario you do suspend, I will use my personal experience like applications that are highly sensitive.
Okay. That's it.
Just,
Thank you.
just to add to that, when you are working, Simon, e- every environment will have some applications that have their own specifications. For example, there are some of my I have some databases that I will always have to remove from availability group. When that is finished, I put it back. So that are some of the specifications, but they are not like a standard way. But there
Okay.
are just some specification that maybe an application has come with its own rule, and they know why that is the reason why they are doing that, right? So when you in any environment, you may have scenarios where they will tell you, remove these databases. They will give you the clarification that this one should be removed, and after that it should be put back.
Okay.
These are just, you never know why they are saying it, because they are the one handling the application, they know what is happening. So if they
All
tell
right.
you that, you just follow. But that's not the standard way of it, right? It's not. It's a
Okay. Thank you.
customized way of the application. Yeah.
Thank you.
The only thing that I have seen be done in the past, and it's not absolutely very necessary, is that when you are patching always on availability group, that before you reboot the secondary server or during the patching of the secondary server, that you change the synchronization method from synchronous commit mode to asynchronous, just to prevent automatic failover. I've seen that being done, and once you're done, you put it back to synchronous commit mode. But most of the time, in patching always on availability group, you really don't have to take any action, especially based on the fact that you are patching the secondary, right? So long as you're not affecting the primary, you are patching the secondary and doing all reboots on the secondary, and then only failing over once the secondary is confirmed that it's successfully patched, then you fail over and then patch the next one. That's the only thing that I've seen so far. But apart from that, you just go ahead, patch the secondary, fail over, and patch the next one, and then redistribute the workload based on the way it was.
Okay. What if in a situation whereby you have two secondaries?
Yeah.
Still the same method?
Yeah, so if you
Okay.
have two secondary, they skip the same method. And then sometime you may have a secondary with load balancing work capability, right? So you
Yeah.
have like maybe 3 availability groups or maybe 4 availability groups spread across all the nodes, right? Which means that
Okay.
there is no pure secondary on, let's just say you're dealing with two node cluster and you have two
Mhm.
availability groups.
Yeah.
You have availability group 1 running on node 1, availability group 2 running on node 2, which means that at any time, node 1 is a primary and secondary at the same time. So in that case,
Yeah.
there's no pure secondary. So to start the patching, you immediately start by doing a failover, right? To
Okay.
isolate any work that's running on that node and fail it over to the other node, and then it becomes an active passive situation, because previously it was active, right? Because all nodes are working. So you fail it over and become
Yes.
active passive. Then you patch now the passive, fail over those 2 availability groups now to the other server, and then patch the new passive. Once you're done, you redistribute the work back the way it was before you started the patching.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Mhm. Guys, questions or concerns, worries, any question? There's no stupid question. If you've been actively taking interviews, you should have questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you should have questions. Is there anyone here that has never ever had an interview since we started?
So
Has
many of them
never
here.
had an interview, even a phone
So
call.
many of them here. I see their faces. I know them from their
Karen,
looks.
you've never had Simona, you've never had an interview?
No. I
Is that,
think
is that a yes or
I
no?
No.
Your line is breaking. I can't hear you.
Our line is breaking. I think she's having network issues.
All right. Yes.
I know why some of them, if you do diagnosis for those that have never had the interview, the result will just come up. It's like if I put them in the lab, the result will come up very fast. Why they have never had it? And they know why.
If you are sitting here and you've never ever had a phone call to talk about, even basic recruiter call to talk about your skills, then something is wrong. Right? Something is seriously wrong. It doesn't matter whether you've had a job or you at this point, 2 months into mentorship, you should at least spoken to some companies and be in the process of getting better. Because if you don't speak to someone, don't have an interview, how do you know that you're even in the right track of even getting a job? Right? You have to be in that position where you've spoken to companies, which means that you have to be actively applying for work. If you are not actively applying, if you don't even have your resume out there, who is going to call you? Nobody. If you are not applying, nobody's going to talk to you. So you have to be applying, and messing up. You need to mess up enough to get better. That's why I'm saying you need to have questions. Because if you've been taking those calls, they should have asked you questions that you're just dumbfounded. And that's why you should record your calls whenever you're going to an interview. Try to have 2 phones. If the interview is through a phone call, get another phone and just go on WhatsApp as if you're leaving a voice message. Just click and keep it by the side and just record everything. All right.
Can you hear me now?
After that, yes, we can hear you now. Hold on. But after that, listen to that interview and grade yourself. Did I perform well? What question was I not able to answer? And then now this is the time for you to bring the questions for us to answer for you. All right, Simona, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, I have been applying, but most or almost every job that I've seen, they're requesting like bachelor degrees, and I don't have any of that. So I feel like that is the issue, and I don't know if I can get a job without one now.
90% of the people that have gotten jobs since we started training don't have a degree. They don't. Especially here in the US. Maybe some other countries are different, but here in the US, and I know you are here in the US, they don't have
So,
right?
so you can get a job without a degree.
Yes, of
You're
course.
saying.
Let me even tell you, for me personally, I have a PhD, but I don't have the PhD on my resume because it's counterproductive for me. I put on my resume, I get rejection. So I said, take it out. So nobody cares about degrees here. To be very honest, nobody cares about degrees. It's what you know. You can have all the degrees. If you can't answer a basic interview question, nobody's going to hire you because of your degree.
So my question is, even though I don't have a bachelor degree, I should still apply to that position that is requesting one.
Yes, because it is always a bachelor degree or a relevant experience.
Exactly.
You can replace a degree with an experience. Someone who has a 5 years experience working as a database administrator is better prepared for that job than a university graduate who just coming out with a bachelor degree.
And I also feel that because they would always choose someone that has a degree over someone that doesn't is my other thing.
Let me ask her a question. Let me ask her a question. You have consider you are you have a company, right?
Yes.
I need somebody. Let's say the company is a company that just carry a carton from point A to point B, right? And to carry this carton from point A to point B, you need a degree. Now, will you employ somebody who has a degree who will carry from point A will not reach point B, or you employ somebody who does not have a degree who will carry from point A to point B?
Okay. Well, thanks for clarifying that, because I was getting a little stressed out. Not a little, but a lot of stressed out about that. Okay.
That shouldn't you shouldn't worry about that at all. Not at all. Okay.
Since when did you have this worry, Simona? How long have you been having this worry?
Since before I even took the class, but I spoke to someone, his name was Elvis, and he told me that I don't have to worry about that. But now that I am applying and I've been looking at jobs and applying, and it's like everything is just, bachelor,
Yeah,
bachelor,
I'm,
bachelor.
you know why I'm asking the question? I'm asking the question because OMO is created for you to bring your worries and present so that it should help you. I'm saying this because OMO has been going for 2 months, and you are bringing this question on the last day. That is why I'm asking
Well,
this question,
well, the
right?
other reason I wasn't like thinking about it, but then, as Dr. Dennis was saying, I am in the other group, the Cowies DBA Best or whatever. Someone from there told me that I should have it on there, so that's why I've been like
Is
No,
that
thinking
an
that.
official group of KiawiTech or a group that people created? You have to follow official groups from KiawiTech. You can have your private groups where you can do your things there independent of KiawiTech, but we create the almost an official channel of KiawiTech where issues and advice, real issues and real advice are being given.
So it's very
I think
okay to have your groups out there, you know. It's just like you could when you meet in your wouldn't just your circle of friends, you get all kinds of advice in things that work, things that don't work, and so on. But the advice that you should take from us is what the institution tells you. That's what we've tested. Everybody has their own experience. Someone will tell you, "Oh no, DBA is a dying field. Don't even go into it," and stuff like that. You know, people have their own perception on where they see things. But what we're telling you is what we've tested over the years. We know that it worked, and we will give you the best advice, right? So be in groups, but be mindful of whatever advice you take from people around. And if you doubt anything, ask. We will tell you what we think that works.
No,
Yeah,
thank
I think
you
she
for
joined a little
clarifying.
late. I clarified that point actually from the beginning, and I even made mention of the fact that I have a guy at work who has been working for 15 years. He studied computer sciences, right? That he has a degree. But then when he applied, he actually applied for my position. He is the one who told me this. I don't have a degree in computer sciences, but they rejected him and gave him a position to be a sysadmin. And at the moment, they asked me to teach him. So who is in a better position? I am the professional here because I have the experience and what it takes to manage the database manage the system. And he actually has his know-how, from the computer science background.
Yeah.
So that one shouldn't be a blocking, like a stumbling block for anybody. Your
Okay.
experience, yes, your knowledge, what you've learned here at Cavitech, it's enough to even give you that job and also to let you teach others.
And I want you
And
guys to yeah, thank you, Sarah, for that. And I want you also to understand this, right? There is no university out there that offers a training in database administration as a training, right?
Does
You can
exist.
do computer science and then have a minor, maybe a 1 or 2 months training towards the end of your program to learn how to learn database administration. But companies will hire you based on these database administration skills that we've been teaching you for the last 6 months. And this is very highly specialized, right? So what most people, if you look at anyone that went from a university route into become a database administrator, is they started up maybe as something, and then they work themselves into becoming a DBA. And I read a lot of blogs out there. I'm going to send a link for you guys, just posted this week, where someone was asking how to become a database administrator. They just learned that DBAs make over $150,000 but work 15 hours a week, and they were wondering if that is really possible. And there's a lot of analysis from Brent Oza, very good guy in the field, that's really analyzing why sometimes a DBA can work just 15 hours a week, which is not like unofficial, it's really official. Companies know that you don't have work all the time, but they know that when a problem happens at midnight, you're going to wake up and fix that problem. Right? When the problem happens on weekend, when you are having that best party of your life, you are going to be called to come in and fix that problem. That's the expectation. But doesn't mean they always happen. No, it doesn't always happen. But that's why they don't care how many hours you work in a week, right? It's not like where you really have to clock 8 hours a week to make sure that you work to justify the salary. Now, sometimes the salary is exorbitantly so high compared to the kind of work that you do. But these kind of skills are very experienced skills. They are very specialized. And no university out there really offers them. So you have to be able to, even if you finish the university training and you want to become a DBA, you have to take a training like this one to be really proficient enough to sit out there and defend that you are a DBA. That's just how it is. Go out there and check all university. You're not going to see any program out there that really trains you what we are offering to you guys in 6 months here.
Let me just clarify, Simona, and maybe some other people can get this. Simona, do you know anybody that's had a job in KiawiTech?
Yeah, I speak to Jeremy and I try to get an idea of his environment.
No. I don't know. Do you know somebody has gotten a job, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, not one, not two, not three. So many of them you have been posting, right?
Yes.
Which means this is what happens. You can also do your own experience, do your due diligence. You can come out and say, I want to talk to somebody who has gotten a job and ask, do you have a degree? That's something you could have done. Or make up your own analysis and say, anybody that will be posted here, I'll try to get, because the person will always write back to thank the group. You will always see those messages, which means you can see the name, the number of the person, and you write to the person privately and ask, did you have a degree? That's you have to do your own personal analysis, right? And answer the question for yourself. Understand? Because the people are always there. When you write to them behind the scene, they will always reply to you, and you can ask all your questions, right? I'm telling you, in KiawiTech, 98% doesn't have a degree in database administration. Let me even say 99%. I have a degree in business administration, right? I did business administration. If you ask here, everybody that is working, all the instructors here, they will be telling you something different. You will tell somebody from linguistic, somebody from literature, another person from maybe health domain, and you will hear different types of degrees that they are holding, right?
All right, I think we've touched a little bit on this. There's more hands up. Let's take more questions. Yes, Natalie.
Thank you, Doc. Talking about patching on the always on availability group. I don't know, because during almost session, one instructor asked if we can do the patching for the both server the same day. In class we can do at the same time during the practice, but I don't know if in the real environment we can do patches the same day for the both server.
Oh, sure.
I didn't get this answer.
It will really depend on the company SOP, right? There is no generic way to answer that question. And that's why when you join a company, you need to know how they do their things, standard operating procedures for everything they do. I've worked in companies and where we do all that on the same day. And currently right now, I work in a company where we do not do that on the same day. All right. And they have different reasons why they choose not to do both of them on the same day. Now, let me take it doing both of them on the same day.
I've muted her.
Now, before you patch, you carry out any patching, in most companies, you have to submit a change request. And because this is something that you do almost every day, some companies might ask you to do what we call a standard change request, which means that there's nothing changing from what you're going to be doing every month. So there's no reason to have to justify this every month in a CAP meeting. So you submit a standard change request, right? Which you go to the CAP, right? You know what CAP is, the Change Advisory Board meeting, and then you defend why you want to do this once. So you tell them, well, it's for security reasons, it's recommended, it's part of the monthly maintenance that we have to do on this server to make sure that they meet compliance and so on and so forth. And then they'll ask all questions. If anybody has a concern about that, once it's approved, then every month that you need to do the patch, you just need to inform the team that you'll be doing part and you don't really need to come to the CAP meeting to defend it. Some companies will do like that, but some companies you still have to submit a CAP request every month and go into the CAP meeting and approve. When a CAP, what will it comprise of? It will comprise of what you plan to do, when you're going to be doing it, the description of what you are doing, the time, the date, and then your rollback in case things go wrong, right? What systems will be affected when you are doing that? If there's going to be any downtime. So a CAP is really like fill out the whole form where they ask questions like, what are you planning to do? When are you going to do it? What time? And you set up a maintenance window. And that maintenance window is the time you're going to do the activity. Let's say you need 2 hours to do this work. Then you have to make sure you complete within the maintenance window. You can't go above because anything above that was not approved. Okay. So, and then within that time, once it has been approved, you go in there, all application, everybody that is concerned, which means the business user, the application owners, where the application connects to that database, they know that a CAP has been approved for this server. So during this time, the application cannot connect to the database. So anybody who tries to connect during the maintenance window will face an issue, and they will know that, well, there was a change request submitted to do this during this time. So, and then before then, you will send an email out to the entire company on this X amount of, on this day, at this time, we will be patching these servers. Expect a downtime. The application will no longer be able to connect during this time. And then go ahead and then you do the patching. Even if it's always on, you do the secondary, you fail over, you do the other secondary, and you do all that. Make sure you complete the work within the maintenance window. Right? So that's no problem. Then there's another company like the one I'm working with right now, where we decide that it is too risky. There's a lot of, we work with a global company where at any time there's someone around the world that is accessing that server. So there's no real clear maintenance window that where we can completely shut down application not to be able to connect, right? That is a situation where you will not be able to do both on the same day. Because when you patch both on the same day, if something really happened, like a rollback where 2 servers have been affected, you're all affected. So company will weigh the risks involved in doing that on the same day and then decide. So what we do is that we will patch one today, right? Let's say the secondary server today, and then we will schedule a time during, well, I always wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning to do just a failover. All I need to do during that time is just failover from this server to this server. That's all. And then on the next day, we will patch the other server. That's how the companies will do it. So it just depends on the criticality level of the company, and then they will have business justification why they cannot do it on the same day. Is that clear?
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay. Very good. There was another question of John. I think that was your question answered in between.
Yeah, one of my questions were being answered, and then the second one was regarding the issue of getting a call. But I've been
Yes.
applying though. Most of the companies I applied to have actually sent me an email, but not moving forward. That is moving forward with other candidates. Like after looking into your CV, something like that. I think I have one of the messages here. We
Okay.
have carefully reviewed your application, but we have decided to pursue other candidates
Okay.
whose qualification best. I've gotten this type of messages, so many of them. So that was just another thing which I wanted to point out.
Okay. Let me just share my screen and show you. Once in a while, when I need a job, I also apply for a job, right? And I do have a dedicated email that I use for application of my jobs, right? Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. I just want to let you know, do you see how many emails are here?
It's very small.
It's too small? Can you read this number?
Very small.
No, your screen is too small.
Okay, let
Very
me
small.
make it bigger.
22,690.
Thank you. All right, let me make it. You see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. There is no personal email on this particular email that I use, right? And you may think that the spam. I only have 9 emails here that has not been opened. Okay. Now, if I go down a little bit and say, well, let's check rejections. How many times has someone ever sent a rejection to me since I apply for work? Okay. Do you see this number? This is filtered, huh? It's 1,431. Okay. So let me just tell you, with my own experience, right? When I'm applying for work, I get enough rejections, enough of them. And you have to flood this company with your applications. If you think that this is something where you just go in and put one application and then job majestically just find you're lying to yourself. It will not work. The most difficult part of this training, huh? Not even what we did in class. The most difficult part is go through all this rejection and don't give up. And
Absolutely.
if you call anyone that has been posted on that platform, like Zeb was saying, you have the emails. These are things that is not from us. You can contact every single time we post someone has gotten a job and the person sends a thank you message. You can contact that person and say, hey, can you tell me your own experience? How many jobs did you apply? How difficult was it? Did he just find it? Talk to them and get a feeling of what it is, right? Job application is a full-time job on its own. And if you don't treat it that way, you will always feel like this IT thing is a scam. You always say, no, I did the training, it's a scam. These guys, they are not speaking the truth. It's because you didn't put the effort. It is difficult. And you have to put in a maximum amount of effort to get this. And you will get enough rejections. Enough rejections. Yeah. Any question?
So, but what I've realized before you take your question, Caroline, is that we've been singing here in this Omo, like you try to be open with your group members, work together, but we actually realize a lot of this particular batch, like to keep their things extremely secret. Yeah, so it's not motivating to your group members, and it's not even pushing you any further. Like that, you will not have a job that you work alone, right? You cannot work secretly at work. But it is something that has come up over and over in this particular batch. A lot of trainees have had interviews, but none of them want to be mentioned, and none of them want nobody to know they have had any interview. So something that's the last, we are here on our last day, and I'm pointing this out because it is not motivating to anybody, not to your group members. All right, I
Yes.
just wanted to point that out.
Talk about it, right? And when you get a job, also let us know. I mean, just think about it, right? If we are here in batch 18 and starting batch 19, if we started doing this training and nobody ever got a job, do you think we'll be in batch 18? Really think about it. When you get your job and you don't let us know, do you really think we'll be in batch 18 still training people who don't have jobs? Because I am extremely discouraged when we train a batch and people don't have jobs. I get affected even more than you guys because I feel like we have failed you guys. All right. So before you hide that information, consider even the academy, and there's no joke about it. I mean, who among all of you sitting here really sits here and we don't expect you to have a job? Well, which of your classmates looked at this entire class and don't expect someone to have a job? I mean, it's not a secret, right? You are here because you need to be mentored to have a job. So it shouldn't be a secret about it. Talk to people, share your experience, share your audio. Okay, when you guys joined the OMO, we shared a folder with more than 100 interview recordings. I don't even know how many of you have listened to those audios. Do you guys actively listen to those audios or they're just useless? John, have you ever listened to those audios? Any of them?
Yes, I have. I have.
There are a lot of them. But where did we get them? All right. Someone like you volunteered, recorded a call, and sent the audio to us. And we can share with all of you to also get the experience. So when you are listening to an audio, at this particular point, you will know whether someone is speaking some sense or they're just bluffing, right? So don't just use them as gospel truth because they're also students like you. But at this point, the most important thing is listening to audio will help you develop a trend. Because if I take about 20 interview audios and listen to them, I will pick up one question that always comes in interviews. Like for these last 20 interviews, this question always come up. So if you know like that, why won't you prepare for that question? Because do you think that you are just going to be that exception to go in that question does not come? Right? So that's the reason why you listen to interviews. You listen, not just listening, you listen and take down the questions. Right? What are the questions that they're asking? And then you can start developing your own OneNote based on the frequently asked interview questions. You have to go to OneNote and say frequently asked interview questions, and you just write it down, and then try to get real good answers from what the person is saying and from what you're able to find on ChatGPT or on Google and so on, right? And develop that, and then you can just have a bunch of 100 questions that are frequently being asked, and you spend your time only practicing just 100 questions and the answers that you've written down. I am telling you, that is the secret. When I was in your stage, listening to interviews, back then we never used to have a lot of things like ChatGPT, OneNote. What I did was that on my wall at home, I wrote down all the questions and the answers, right? And I decorated my entire wall. You guys have watched Breaking Bad, right? Prison Break. You watch Prison Break and you see how Michael takes his entire prison cell and then decorate it with his plan, what he's planning to do. That is exactly how I did mine. Huh? So immediately someone called me, and on the phone, I am on that wall. Simple. Because at times, when you repeat something over and over and over, it sinks. Some of you sing songs in languages that you don't even understand. That if they say, what is the meaning of this, you don't understand, but you're able to sing the song. True of us, right? Me particularly, I sing songs in Lingala. I don't speak Lingala, right? I sing songs in different languages that I don't even know what it means. Just because I've heard the song so many times that I know to sing the song. That's how you should do for these interviews. You have to get away to bypass the norm. You don't think that you're just going to do it normally and things will work. No, find ways, like whatever it takes to make sure that someone believes in you and gives you opportunity, do it. Because at this point, all of you have done this training, and I believe 100%, if you are given a DBA job, you will do it. All right, you will do it. Because I know how it starts, right? They start up, they will teach you, show you where they do backup, show you where they save their things, their wikis online, steps on how to do things. They will do a knowledge transfer. And some companies will even take up to 3 months only training you on the things that you're going to be working on. And with a solid foundation that you have right now, knowing what the company is doing, there's no way you will not be successful. Right? So, but who is going to believe and give you that opportunity? That is why this interview process is all about. To break that chain where someone doesn't believe in you and gives you opportunity to learn and get in there. So do whatever it takes to bypass that, right? So I would decorate my entire wall with every question that they ask and the answers. And I would just literally just read out of that. And after some time, I'm now better. You can call me. Even if I'm not at home, I will still take my interviews. Or if you call me for in-person interview, I will go there with no fears. That's how you should do it, right? Leverage YouTube, leverage ChatGPT, leverage the OneNote document that we've given to you. Use those audios that are there. Write down the question. Find out what the answers are. And then now there's no more OMO. But normally that's what you should be doing, right? Bring the ones that you are not able to answer during OMO, and then someone will answer them to you. All right. All right. Caroline, I saw you.
Caroline had her hand up.
Yeah. Good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
I have a question concerning the license.
The license?
Yeah, I have a question concerning the license. When we were installing our VMs,
Yes.
the operating system was 180 days, and I think we are already almost the 180 days gone. So how
Yes.
do we get
Oh, you can
it
renew
extended?
the 180 days 6 months one more time. There is a command that you can run, and let me leverage ChatGPT now, since I'm telling you ChatGPT is the way forward. And then let's see how we do it, right? Okay. There's this command, and if I can go on ChatGPT and just say um, um, PowerShell command to renew my evaluation edition license, window license. I'm expecting to license. Sorry, I spelled it wrongly. All right. There's a first proposal is the answer, right? If you just go into that VM and you open command prompt, right? And you write the word slmgr/ream, and then it will reactivate it again for 6 months. And then when you do that, you restart the VM, and then you'll get it again. And even if you forget, the best way for you to do it is just delete the VM and recreate it again. All right. If you don't want to go through this route, you can still delete, recreate it with the same license. Remember, that license is just an evaluation. Each time you reinstall it and you activate it, make sure that you're doing so. You have to make sure the VM is attached to the default switch so that it activates that through the internet. Because if the VM is not touching the internet, it will not reactivate it. But with this command, since it was already activated the first time, you run it, you restart the VM, you get 180 days one more time.
Okay, thank you,
All right.
Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah. I have another question. All my VMs have been deleted, but we were practicing yesterday and we had an issue. Unfortunately, I cannot show you, but maybe you can throw some light on it. We actually created on two listeners on an availability group where we wanted to connect to applications on this.
Two listeners on the same availability group?
Yes, we did.
On one availability, it's not possible.
We did. It went through. Yeah, but our issue was how do you see where the applications are connected? Can you see where because where do you click? Is it on your SMS or on the dashboard? Can you see where the
If you can
applications are?
see if the applications are connected through the listener?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, look, first of all, let me first get this straight. I'm not sure you can add two listeners on the same availability group, except you created two availability groups with two listeners. One availability group takes one listener. The only thing you can do is that one availability group can take two IP addresses. Right? If you have multi-subnet cluster, and then one listener can take two IP addresses. But anyway, let's assume that it magically worked for you, but which I don't think it should work. When applications are connecting through the listener, the only way that you can test is that the application has what we call a service account, right? So the application is connected, is coming in through the service account. You should have already created the login of that service account at the database level so that the application can use it on their connection string to connect. You can monitor that connection. You can use Profiler, right? And you can use just SQL Profiler and filter the connection through that service account and see if there's any incoming connection, and you can capture it. You can also use just SP_who2 to see which connections are coming into your database and look at that service account that connects, and you should be able to see it. And there's also a dynamic management view. I think it's sys.select star from sys.connections which will display all the connections that are getting into SQL Server, and you can filter it based on that service account that the application is using.
Okay.
Right? So
the application will always connect from a host, like from a
yes.
different machine, most often. Good practice, though. So when you run even a SP who2, you see this user is connecting to this particular host, and this is the program he is using. It shows there. So if you are looking for a particular user or a particular host, you will be able to see it, and that's what will tell you this is the application. Because only you can give the same login to so many different applications. It's not allowed. So you will be able to monitor it even with your who is active or who2, SP who2.
Correct.
Thank you. Sianto is there. I don't know whether he wants to say something about it because he was the one creating this.
Who was that?
The listeners. Sianto. Sianto, I'm sorry,
Sianto,
but
you
I
here?
don't know if you can. Yeah.
Sianto.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here. But I'm currently driving.
Okay, you want to talk about how you were able to create two listeners on the same availability group?
Yes, sir. I was able to create it, but not directly, not directly on the SSMS, but on my failover cluster, on the Windows failover cluster. I was able to create one. Then I had to connect it to SSMS the port number, which is the 1433. After I connected it to that port number, then it appears in the SSMS.
And were you able to connect through those listeners?
Yes, sir. I was able to log in through the listener as well.
Okay, hold on.
When you finally go to your computer, share a screenshot of what we are talking about. Let's take a look at it.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay, so I just asked online, and the answer is yes, you can create multiple listeners for the same availability group in SQL Server. All right. And that's something I need to explore that. All right.
Yes. We're just like doing our own research and trying to learn. Like we ask ourselves questions if it's possible that an agent to listeners, and it's not like a must from what we learned yesterday. It's not like a must, but there are also situations where it's possible. But normally it's just one listener per availability group.
Yes, that is what I'm aware of. All right. All right. So, okay, that's something I would need to look into that as well. And the use case, I'm trying to figure out what will be the use case for that. What's even the use of having multiple use listener in a situation like that. I know of a situation where you can create not a listener, but an alias to point to the secondary replica for read-only transactions. But a listener, of course, based on how a listener works, a listener should always point you to the primary replica. But if you're dealing with a situation where you have application team and then you have reporting team and probably maybe HR and business reporting, and then those reporting teams need read-only access and you don't want them to connect through the bare server name, you can create an alias, and behind that alias, or if you even want to make it more complicated, behind that you attach the replica, the secondary replica to that, so that the application team can connect directly to the secondary replica for their read-only transactions. And then you have to configure read-only routing in a availability group, so that if the secondary replica was to change and become a primary, it will reroute any connection that is pointing to that to the corresponding secondary replica. Right?
Yeah, exactly, sir. And that's what we're trying to do yesterday. but we got confused in between because we don't know how to route it. So we just wanted to
Oh,
share. Yeah.
if
we
that
just
was what
wanted
you
to
were
share.
trying to do, you shouldn't have been thinking about creating multiple listener for that. Because the listener, the job of a listener is to route traffic to the primary. Right? That's what the listener is meant for. Always make sure that any connection that's coming in is pointing to the primary. But if you want connections to point to the secondary replica, and then at the same time, you don't want the application team to know the server name, right? Then you create an alias. Right? Then you create an alias. So that, because the reason why you are doing, what's the reason? The reason why you're doing so is that servers are always being upgraded, right? Every time servers go out of support, they are being upgraded. And sometimes the application developers are coding the server name into the code, right? They're doing hard coding, even though that is not a good practice, but they do hard coding, which means that within the code, if you can have like maybe 10,000 line of code, and within that 10,000 line of code, there are certain sections where the server name is mentioned, okay? If that server name ever changes, that code will break. So to avoid a situation where a server is upgraded and the server name has changed, or server is migrated to a different server and the server name has changed and the name is embedded in the code, you want to create an alias. So because with that alias, it is just like a listener, which has its name, but behind it, there is an IP address, which IP address is pointing to a server. All right? Just how a listener works, right? A listener has a name and an IP address. You can replace that IP address anytime, which means that if ever the server name changes, because you were not pointing through the server name, you were only using the alias, you can just change the IP address and then everything works. So no matter where the application team has hard coded the name, the alias, it will not break the application because when it calls that name, it's just calling the new IP address that you have replaced. That is the reason why you use aliases. Is that clear? No? It wasn't clear?
It was a little bit overwhelming.
It was overwhelming?
Yeah.
Let me demonstrate it one more time. This is something very, very important. So let me just use my whiteboard and then demonstrate it one more time, okay? All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So okay. Let's assume that this is oh, come on. This whiteboard something gives me okay. So we have, let's say we have a server here, and this server is server A, right? That's our server A. And this server has an IP address 192.100. Let me just .100.100.1. That is the IP address of this server. We call it server A. And you have an application here. This is our app server, right? Which is app one, that's the server. And this app server also has its IP address 192.100.100.10, for example. Okay? And they are connected. Now, this app server connects to the database server, right? It makes a connection to this database server through what we call a connection string, right? They are connecting. No problem with this connection string. Okay. So if on the connection string, there's always what we call the host, right? You give the host name, which is you have to provide a host name. There are so many things on application connection string, which I'm not going to mention, but at least one of them is the host name. Okay. Now on the host name, if you choose to put this A being the host name, which is the server name of this, what will happen if we do a migration and then move this now, because when you're migrating the server, right, if you're doing a side-by-side migration, what do? You request for a new server, which will still be there, which means that by the time that this server is up, A is still up as well, which means that this server will have an IP address. You have to assign it an IP address, 192.100.100.2, for example. Okay? All right. If application team was connecting through this server using the host name, and then our developers start writing their code, right? Developers write their code, and because they're writing their code, let's say within their code, they have 1,000, let's just say 10,000 line of code, right? 10,000 line of code. And within that code, they are calling the host name, which is A. If this was written by someone else, maybe 10 years ago, and that person has left the company, the application is working with no issue, you, the new developer that is in place, and we say we are moving from A to B, you will not know within this code, this 10,000 line of code, where to replace. Where is this code calling this host name? And because you may find some, but miss some. And because you don't really know everywhere, when we move here, this application will not be able to connect to B. Because inside the code, the code is still pointing to this A, which is no longer available. We are now dealing with server B. So that's a problem. Now, to avoid that situation, we create what we call aliases, right? An alias. This alias, most companies, you will hear of the word a CNAME, right? A CNAME record. A CNAME record, which simply means that, well, I am going to create a CNAME record, and I'm going to just call that CNAME record maybe a C, right? Any name, I can give any name to that CNAME record, which means that this CNAME record, behind the CNAME record, it will have this IP address, 192.100.100.1, right? So in the code, instead of using this as a host name A, we're going to use C, because C has the same IP address as A, right? It has the same IP address. So each time you call C, which is an alias, it will point you to this IP address. So I can now go into my 10,000 line of code and embed, instead of putting A, I'll put C. So if we do a migration, if we not do a migration to server B, the only thing that we're doing is that we are going back to the CNAME record and changing the IP address to this IP address. So the code that was written some 10 years ago is still pointing to C, but the only difference right now is C is no longer pointing to this IP address. It's now pointing to this IP address. And this is what we call changing the DNS IP address. You go on the DNS and you change the IP address of this CNAME record, right? In that case, it helps you to avoid a situation where the code will break as a result of migration. This is what you are expected to do. It's highly recommended. So that users, the developers would never know the actual server name. So that's why in a meeting, you may be talking with developers and they're referring to a server name that you don't even know that exists. They'll say, oh, we want to connect to server C. But in your list of server, you don't have server C. You only have A and B. But you don't really know that the server C that they're referring to is an alias which is pointing to server A or server B. That's how you do it. Is this clear now with the demo?
Yes, Doc, thank you.
Right? So that's what you are expected to do. Make sure that end users don't connect through the real server name. All right. I see here Jeremy is offering to talk to anyone that wants to know the process that he took to get a job. It's your classmate, right? It's your classmate, Jeremy. He's written the forum. So you have his number. He wrote a thank you message in the forum. Go back there and contact him and also get to know his experience, his own process. What did he do to secure a job when the program was not even over? All right. Questions, guys? Questions? Any question? No? Have we exhausted all your questions, Zelda? I thought you said there was a presentation today.
Yes. Search is ready.
Okay. Well, if you guys don't have any question, at least we had about 20 more minutes for you, 25 in particular. But if you don't have any question, we'll give room for Sage to do his presentation, and then we'll wrap up after today. And after today's class, I will be sending the link for you to join KiawiTech bigger community, and I will see you around. All right. Comlan, it looks like you have one question for the road.
Yeah, now my question is just I was asking this question last time, but they said they're gonna answer the question today because today is gonna be the last almost. So my question is like everything that we have, like the video, all the script, everything that we have from KiawiTech, our email, how long are we gonna be having access to those things? Because
2 years.
2 years.
2 years. Yes. We're able to keep, we can't keep the videos forever, right? If you want to download the videos and keep it for yourself, you are free to. We're the only academy that gives you access to our videos. Unlimited access. Most academy, you cannot download their videos. You can only watch. And once you're done with the class, they cut off access and you're done. But with us, we are very generous with knowledge. We believe that it's going to help you maybe some years down the line. If you want to download it, go ahead and download it and keep it for yourself.
All right. Thank you so much.
But the videos, we will keep it for 2 years. That is our retention policy. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Our retention policy is 2 years. Yes, Santo.
Doc, I'm very sorry that I'm driving and I can't be on video. And my question is concerning like all the job opportunities that I've been seeing. It always demands like Oracle and MS SQL. So is it possible like that? I don't know if there's any free version because I tried to download and to configure a community edition of Oracle, but I keep on failing. So I can't configure it because is it possible that if I just have a little knowledge in Oracle, would it like give me like more chances? Like I won't say more, like let me say like 60% chance that I have such jobs that includes MS SQL and Oracle.
I will say it's just a belief that you feel Oracle is always required for the jobs that you're looking for. There are enough SQL only jobs. Yes, having more relational databases will increase your chances. But remember, Oracle is a whole beast on its own, right? To really master what Oracle is, it's not just by watching one or two videos and knowing what Oracle is all about. It's a whole training, and there are 6 months to 1 year training only on Oracle. Okay. I will say it shouldn't really be the primary reason for you to secure a job. It can be in your bucket list of things that you need to learn. Focus on SQL Server that you already have right now, and then get a job as a SQL Server database administrator. And then you can decide to add your skills. You can say, well, now that I'm working as a SQL Server database administrator, I want to add another relational database, which is Oracle. And then really pay for the training and take it. Well, right now, you can practice. Also, Oracle has a free license as well. I don't have no skills on Oracle. I don't even know how to log into Oracle. I've been working for so many years, so I don't have to learn Oracle. I have decided I will never learn Oracle. It's not on my bucket list of things I want to learn. You understand? I can't know it all. Let other people also have jobs, right? So you must not learn it. But if if you want to learn it, and you don't want to go through this approach, you want to do it on your own, I think Oracle has a free version, and there's so many YouTube videos. You can just say Oracle, go to YouTube and say Oracle for beginners. You have like 15, 20, sometimes you have like 40 hours video online to only learn Oracle, and they can really help you navigate where to download the right version, how to install it, how to get all the virtual boxes and have them installed. But I can't teach you Oracle because I have no clue what Oracle is all about. Right? So
Yeah,
that
what I want to say about that is that actually when we finish to learn Oracle, all the job here we see now, we will be requesting MySQL.
Yes, that's a very good one. That's a very good one. Yes.
That's how
Yeah.
it works. So you cannot learn everything. I mean, there's no GBA, even those that have 30 years that know everything. But you will have chance when you get to the environment, you may be chance to get the environment where they have many relational database management system that you can learn from there. But Oracle is really more difficult even than SQL. I know a lot that even go from Oracle to SQL Server. It's more
Yes.
difficult. If I
Yes.
will advise somebody here to go and learn something more, I will say go and learn a bit Azure, because a lot of companies are trying to move to cloud and they want to know that at least you have some basic knowledge on cloud. But I will not say you should instead of going and learn maybe Azure or AWS, at least having that basic knowledge, you should be going and learning Oracle. That will not help. It may help, I mean, but your job will be your job, right? For you, we come to you. When you finish learning Oracle, you now all the job will be requesting Postgres and MySQL. And when you finish learning MySQL, then it will be something else. So that's all I can say for this one.
Thank you, Seth. James, you want to contribute on that?
Yeah. So, like, I'm just adding what you just said. We cannot learn everything, right? Like what Dr. just said. Just master one thing. That's all that we do. So the SQL Server is what you are mastering it. Just master that one. You will see other opportunities, right? If you really want to get into it, like the Oracle that you said, right? It's closer because it's the license that you are actually skeptical about it. Postgres and MySQL is closer to that. You can get those open source, practice on its own, but also what we here or KiawiTech, if not, you will learn everything and you will still not get the job. Please master what they have taught you. And when you get the interview, you will just tell them that, hey, you were part of this project, right? You were at like the SQL Server administrator, but although with your knowledge, how you are willing to learn new things, you have actually deployed some, database to that environment. But on your own, if what you really want to learn on Oracle, Postgres, and MySQL is the open source closer to Oracle. So yeah.
Thank you. And James has posted a video here on how you can create multiple availability listeners. I'm going to send that on the chat as well. So anybody that wants to practice, guys, you've passed the stage of just watching videos and not practicing. We've helped you build environment. All of you right now, you can destroy your entire environment and build it back. So when you're watching a video, be active, actively watch the video. Don't watch it passively. Because if you just sit and look at them, you'll forget. But if you watch while practicing it, it will make much sense. And thanks so much for that, James. Very, very helpful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Comland, your hand is up. Is it a new question or?
No. I just want to emphasize what you say and James say right now. It's like I don't want my colleague just to, thinking too much to look at a job that you not thought, like something that you not thought. Don't just go there. Me, everywhere, every platform, if even though it's a Indeed, LinkedIn, or whatever, I just type SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. That's what I know. That's what I'm looking for.
Correct.
So other job that they say MySQL or Postgres stuff like that, I have to, if I don't see my SQL Server inside, I won't apply, because if they are looking for SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle, they will be inside of that job search. So I don't want them to go anywhere to look at something else. Just focus on SQL Server, apply for SQL Server. That's what you know, and that's what you're gonna be doing. So I just wanna, tell them to. That's what I'm doing right now. So that's what I'm applying for.
And again, right? Diversify, be open, be ready to embrace other ones. But your focus right now is you've done an 8 months training in Microsoft SQL Server. You have skills required to work and get the job. Focus on that. And if you have some time available, right, you can now maybe start learning something gradually. But just know that for you to know it, you have to also sacrifice the same amount of time you sacrifice for SQL Server to really know it to your fingertips. So it's a long time. So every year I picked up a topic that I want to learn for the year. Sometimes I achieve it. Sometimes, I've become like those people who have New Year wishes, New Year resolution on the 1st, on the 3rd, and they've already forgotten what the New Year resolutions were. I've become part of those kind of people. But I'm always wanting to learn something new. And you can take it as your long-term goals, right? My long-term goals are, well, I want to know about my SQL, Postgres, Oracle, and this and that. But your focus right now should be, how do I put my foot on the door? Because once you put your foot on the door, maybe that long-term goal will change. Maybe you get in there and you start seeing a different branch of IT that you really like. And that goal will change, right? I don't like people who gather too much and they don't do anything with it. Today, this person is in this class. You want to go in this class, she is there. You want to go back here, he is here. They learn everything, but they never use it. Why? What's the reason? Do you have too much money, too much time? Learn something little, follow up, because look, don't blindly listen to what your friends will say in the community, because your friends will only advise you based on what they know. A friend that is doing cybersecurity will say, hey man, all those DBA jobs, they're dying down. Now is cybersecurity the new trend? That's where money is. And then you abandon everything you learned for the last 6 months, and then you put money into cybersecurity. And then you learn for 3 months. And then you come out, you get 1 or 2 rejections, you are there at the party, and his friend is sitting there. Have you heard of Salesforce? This is where all my friends are making all the money. The money there, and he will show you salary. See, man, look, this, and then you forget everything you learn in cybersecurity, you bam, more money into Salesforce. Come out, the same struggle. You don't know Oracle. If you don't know Oracle, it's because that's why you've not had job since you started learning. It's because you miss Oracle. Look, I've been working as Oracle. I know a little bit of SQL. That's why I'm able to have job. You abandon everything you learn in Salesforce. You find yourself more money in Oracle. At the end of the day, your conclusion is that IT is a scam. The problem is you. Because you're not able to be consistent, you are jumping from left to right, you're gathering
You're right, sir.
you're doing
You're right.
walking with it.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yes. I am telling you, your friends will only advise you based on what they know. And if you come to me, I am going to tell you SQL Server is the best as well. I will never tell you that SQL Server is not the best when I'm in SQL Server. How do you expect me to say it's not the best when I'm teaching it? No. But the thing is that since I already convinced you that this is the best thing and you are here, stay until you get a job. And then you test the money and decide whether it's true or not. Don't jump left and right. No. The only thing I can tell you is that if you are along this path of data management, focus on seeing, okay, what's next? Like James said, if you want to add something, maybe add Azure. Still in the same line. You are not jumping around, right? Look at the job market. Like, okay, when you go to apply for those jobs and you go to interviews, what are the things they're looking for? Maybe they want a little bit of SSIS, SSRS. Yes, I should add that. Maybe they want me to know a little bit of Azure. I should add that. Those are the things that are within the job description that you're looking for. But if you do anything apart from that, you're wasting your time and your money. All right.
Yeah. Doctor, I would like to add something like this batch. They have actually been, I would say, they started with the energy, and I will say it again. I like the energy, but as we get closer, I think I would say maybe half of the class, I don't know whether they are just giving up, but that shouldn't be an option. Please see our batch, like how we were getting the job, because we were putting in the work. If you don't put in the work, please, doctor will say it yourself, like he knows those who have gotten the job. It's only miracle which will give you that offer. And those who are waiting for the perfect time, there is nothing like perfect time. Put in the application. Let them schedule you for only one interview. The rest will be just amazing. You will be just be flowing. And also those who are being selective, like looking for only remote jobs, please stop that. Pick anything which comes, whether it is on site. I know one of your guys, your batch, who applied, like I would say she was like, nah, it's on site, I will not go. Guess what? She went there and she got the job, right? That's how, and also we have ways and means to convert even those on-site job to remote.
Correct.
So please, if you see anything, just apply. Apply. Don't think that, hey, I want remote or I want hybrid. This is an on-site. You never know. This on-site, that's the ones that you go there, you become the champion. Then at least they have seen you, they know the energy, you get the offer. And afterwards, when you get the job, come to doctor. He will show you how you can convert that on-site job to remote. So please apply for anything which counts. Don't be selective and don't be like, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
There is nothing like, I'm ready. Just put in the work, like apply. And I would say that, like, sorry, there is nothing like I'm perfect or you are looking for the perfect time. Just put in, and at least you will see that you will be celebrated over here. From like today going, and also it's weekend. Please put in the application now from today, Sunday, and Monday. Especially those days are very, very, put in not less than 100. And I'm promising you also, when you get the interview, please don't schedule afternoon interviews. Please, these interviewers, when they come in the afternoon, they are tired. They will just come and say anything. Schedule them in the morning. It's very, very important. The morning sessions, at least you have fresh mind. They also have fresh mind to ask you the interview. And also, if you can get it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's good. Don't push your interviews to Wednesdays and Friday, please. By that time, somebody has already gotten the offer on that Tuesday. So please, that's a little bit add-on that I just wanted to,
Thank you so much, James. And again, guys, you can see that almost everybody that comes back here to teach you has once been sitting here, right? You can see James, Simply, Zelda, Sage, everyone has once been sitting on that spot where you are right now and listening to the same advice. I can show you the videos. I will have them, right? But they listen. They just didn't listen. They applied the knowledge. You understand? Because all these things, when we're talking, if you just listen and you don't apply the knowledge, it's useless. And again, which school even try to convince you the way we are doing for you to get? Because when you get the job, you use your money. You are gone, right? Compare it with a university where once you are handed your degree, you are on your own. We handed your degree 2 months ago after the capstone project when you presented, right? That was it. But we spent 2 months running after you, struggling to make sure you get a job. And I'm surprised that someone will give up on a training when it's not even over. Why did you even start? Let's begin with, right? Right, James said, when you started this class, you had about 60 plus people showing up here, and now you have like barely 30 something coming. What happened? Where did the zeal go to? We didn't declare you ready for the job market, but you're already declaring yourself as a loser. Why? Right? So you have to put in the work, keep doing it, apply. Don't just listen to this advice and don't go home. Apply what we are telling you here, and we are always ready to help you. When you get a job, and if the job happens to be remote, come to my office and work with me. We have space, right? You will work alongside with me. We will be colleagues at that time. We will teach you, we will help you keep that job. That's it, right? So, all right.
Those in Europe can come to me.
Yes, that's
Because
right.
I was saying
That's
you are
right.
far away, so those in Europe can come over here.
Correct.
You have a job.
Okay, I will take one last question from Daisy, and then it will be 2 o'clock, and then we'll give room for presentation and we'll wrap up for today. Yes, Daisy?
Yeah, thank you, Doc, for the advice. Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, okay, I just wanted to ask, so if by chance maybe we haven't secured the job yet, and then we're still on the lookout, applying and all of that, maybe when the next batch finishes their training and they are doing their own OMO and all of that, can we maybe join in to listen and things like that?
Sure, sure. You can see the OMO forum right now is made up of your batch and the previous batch, right?
Okay.
You are free to do that at all.
Okay.
You're free to do that. We don't charge you for that. As once you are a trainee, you can do that. But we hope that before that gets to that level, you would have already gotten a job.
Yeah.
All right.
I got this. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Zelda. I hand it back to you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys around. All right.
All right, thank you. You were the one recording, so you
Yes,
continue
yes,
recording, or do you
yes.
want?
But I just wanted to put it on tape before we stop the recording. I want to take this moment to thank, first of all, you for believing in yourself, right? And for doing this and for giving us the opportunity to mentor and train you in your IT career. It's a privilege, right? You had other schools that you could obviously do your training, but you choose KiawiTechIT Academy to do your training. So with that, we want to say thank you so much. And
Thank you,
we
sir.
also want to thank your sponsors, right? If you sponsored yourself, thank you for being a sponsor. If someone sponsored your training, we want to say thank you for that sponsor who did that to make sure that you are able to do it. This is the best gift that you could receive. You know, the knowledge that we train you here is priceless, and we hope that it was helpful. We hope that we were able to meet your expectation. And if we did not, we have a review that you can leave us a review at the end of this OMO so that we can improve on our services. And then also to my awesome staff and colleagues, right, who spend countless amount of time teaching, mentoring you guys, doing off hours teaching and staying late, making sure that you guys are able to move from being able to not be able to move the mouse to talking real big stuff. I mean, this is a lot of effort, and that's something that you cannot it's priceless. And it's like you say, it takes an entire village to produce one DBA. That is really true. It's not an individual effort, it's a collective effort. And I will hope that once you guys get to the other side, that you are able to come back and let's hold this community and build it together. I am not forgetting all my regular KiawiTech instructors, from the regular classroom to OMO to advisors and everyone. Thank you so much for doing that. And I want to stop here by saying I wish all of you the best. I know that you guys have the capability to become really good IT professionals. Even if you don't become a database administrator, don't close the doors to other IT careers. There are so many out there that you have taught you that you can explore into. Right? IT will give back a lot of time for you with a lot of financial reward. I can guarantee you that. There is no other job that I would have really wished to do. If I would turn back the hands of time, I would have focused my training from day one in IT all the way to the end because it has really paid off. Thank you guys so much. I really wish you all the best, and I hope that all of
Thank
you
you, sir.
find jobs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you.
To all our mentors. Thank you.
Yeah, Doctor, have you? Yeah, there's a question to you, right? And also, it's actually helped me a lot when I was in class. So, you remember you are doing this SSIS and report server.
Yes.
Extra, yeah. So, I want to know whether you are going to do that. Because
Yes.
especially with that report side, it really helped me in my job, because I got to a place that they have report servers and now I'm the champion over there. So, but I want you because most people, like the trainees, majority of them, when they go to these interviews, they want to know, hey, at least, do you have this experience? Like, have you worked any project? So I would like to know whether it's something you can bring it back
Sure.
or you are ready to, yeah.
Sure. I think probably before you join, I had already mentioned that those bonus topics will be coming up on Saturdays. We will send the announcement and make sure that everybody gets ready to prepare for that. And I will also be reaching out to people like you, James, that are already actively using it. And hopefully, maybe I can get you a session where you can actually put practical experience into the theoretical work that we teach in class and help them. Right. So,
Okay.
yeah. All right. Thank you. So I give the floor back to you, Zelda, and I'm going to sign out. Do I need to record this last presentation or not?
If you sign out, I will do the recording.
Okay, let me sign out and then you can record that part.
Yeah.
All right.